Hello and welcome back to another episode of Where No Pod Has Gone Before. As always, I'm Julian,
And I'm Titan joining as co host.
and today we're discussing 1987's RoboCop, directed by Paul Verhoeven. Um, yeah, I think as always, it's a nice place to start talking about our kind of personal relationships with the film. Um, so for me, this is a classic kind of story. Picked it up when I was 15, 16 on DVD and
Mm,
endlessly rewatched it and was obsessed with like the violence and the kind of cool action hero side of it.
yeah.
And yeah, I've always thought it was a masterpiece, and I've kind of stuck with it over the years. I'm very happy to say that I have seen it in a cinema a few years
Oh,
ago. I think
nice.
for its
Okay.
35th anniversary, it would have been.
Oh,
So that's a
beautiful.
really cool thing to have ticked off on the list.
Yeah. Yeah.
But with you, we were wondering when we decided on this film, we were wondering if you had actually seen it before.
Yeah. Well, I mean, last week when we were deciding on it, I think we had a classic Titan and Julian moment, didn't we? Where I was like going through movies like, oh, I've never watched RoboCop. And you were like, you've never watched
But it was
RoboCop?
more like not that you haven't seen RoboCop. It's more like I surely showed you RoboCop.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, yeah. No, exactly. And that's why I think it's the kind of thing that I probably watched on like DSTV, satellite
yeah,
TV for
yeah,
our
yeah.
international audiences, where you sort of tune in and you're like, oh, this is wicked, and then mom's like, hey, supper's ready, come, and you're like, no.
Yeah,
And then
that's a
you
really
miss
good.
the
Yeah.
rest of it, and then a couple years later I watch a different part of the film or something, because there were definitely, I think there were some scenes like the one boardroom scene where he
Hmm.
gets all shot up and everything. That definitely seemed familiar. And then like also the other one that seemed familiar is when he comes into like the factory there and starts like shooting everyone up
Yeah.
and everything.
Okay. Yeah.
I feel like I've definitely seen those scenes. I'm not sure where, but I reckon it was probably like on TV. So
Yeah.
I don't think I've watched it from beginning to end before.
So for all intents and purposes, this was a first time viewing.
Pretty much, yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah. So
yeah.
what? So let's get a gut reaction then on first time RoboCop.
I mean, I was it was different to what I was expecting.
Hmm.
A lot sort of grittier. I thought it was sort of more less heavy sci-fi, less sort of about the moral implications and stuff. I
Yeah.
thought it was going to be more sort of just shiny robot dude
Yeah.
doing cool stuff. I think I was expecting more of a superhero movie actually.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean that's.
Whereas it almost had a Terminator vibe in
Hmm.
parts to it.
Yeah. Um, I think that's a good kind of link to my the gut feeling I always have about this film is like this
Mm.
is it's so much better than it has any right to be.
Yeah,
Deeper
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
more
No, for sure.
thoughtful than a movie called RoboCop ever should be.
Yeah,
This should be a
exactly.
piece of
Yeah,
junk that you watch once and you kind of have a little bit of fun and you
and
forget about it.
yeah, and it's
But it's
it's sort of got
so
those moments as well where it's like, oh, this is like a nonsense movie.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah,
it's got moments where you're like, oh, this is just fun
yeah.
nonsense that you watch, but it's definitely more than that as well.
I mean, I think explicitly a satire, and
Right. Yeah.
um, I was thinking about you know, satirical films and things like that, and sometimes I get frustrated with certain satirical films. But so what I did is I went and found the Wikipedia definition of satire.
Oh,
So I'll read
okay.
that to you.
Right.
Um, Satire is a genre of the visual, literary, and performing arts, usually in the form of fiction and less frequently non-fiction, in which vices, follies, abuses, and shortcomings are held up to ridicule, often with the intent of exposing or shaming the perceived flaws of individuals, corporations, government, or society itself into
Right.
improvement. And I think the key thing there is held up. And I think my feeling
Right.
is to be an effective satire, you firstly have to be the thing that you are pushing against. And
Right.
so this is like it is an ultra violent 80s kind of
Yes.
slop action movie, which it is also sending up because it is
Right.
so extreme and over the top
Yes.
in that sense.
Yeah.
Um, And so, to link with Paul Verhoeven, the director, Dutch director, by the way. Uh,
It sounded
yeah.
almost Afrikaans. Yeah.
So he's worked in the Netherlands for many years, and this is his first Hollywood film. And
Okay.
he was reading the script and kind of chucked it away after 3 pages, like this is a piece of junk. And the story goes that his wife picked it up and read it fully and said, "No, actually, you need to do
Oh,
this because this is much deeper than what you thought it was."
behind
Um,
every successful man, as they say.
exactly. Um, and he went on to have this amazing, I think, 6 film run in Hollywood before he was kind of kicked out.
Oh, okay.
Um, and he made a name for himself as a kind of provocateur, uh, over the top, extreme, um, and you can see why um, someone like that would be drawn to um, this material.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Did he do? Because I see there's sequels as well. Did he do those?
no, he didn't. He didn't do a sequel.
Uh,
I mean, we can talk about RoboCop 2 a little bit
yeah.
at some point. Uh, Maybe we can even cover it on the pod. But that's an interesting one.
Okay.
But just for Hooven, he also went on to. I like to talk about sci-fi credentials on this pod.
Yeah.
He went on to do Total Recall, one of my all-time favorite
Oh,
films.
wow. Yeah.
He does Starship Troopers, and then his last Hollywood film was
Oh, does he
Hollow
do?
Man.
Because okay, that's really interesting. Because I was going to say that there were points here where I was reminded of Starship Troopers
Oh yeah,
with those adverts, like in the middle of
yes,
the news
yeah.
segments.
I was
I
thinking
mean,
of the
especially
recruitment
like
ad in
yeah,
Starship
exactly.
Troopers. Yeah, yeah,
Okay, that's really interesting because I
yeah.
mean
That
the
tone
one
is exactly
yeah
him.
yeah
Yeah,
where it's because that's satire, isn't it? I
yeah,
mean,
yeah. That's
especially
out and
the
out.
yeah
Or when
yeah
there's a scene in Starship Troopers where they show up in literally like Gestapo uniforms. It couldn't be
yeah
more obvious.
yeah
Yeah,
no, and I mean I loved it the battleships game, but it's nuclear missiles. Oh, I mean that's so it's like so
Mom, you
heavy
haven't
handed
dismantled your
satire.
MX stockpile.
So brilliant, but yeah,
Yeah,
no, okay, that's really interesting because I
yeah.
definitely that definitely makes sense.
And his last film is in Hollywood is Hollow Man, which is a kind of uh, a spin on the Invisible Man story, the scientist,
Okay, yeah,
becoming invisible. And
yeah.
I was talking to my sister about this a few months ago about Verhoeven's career, um, and I was like, "Oh, he made a film about an invisible scientist." And I'm like, wait, knowing Paul Verhoeven, what do you think the first thing the invisible scientist did when he became invisible was? And she immediately said, "Oh, he went to go look at a naked woman in the shower." It's like, yep, tick. That's exactly
Right.
what it
It's
is.
like, what would you do? Yeah, sure.
That's the kind. So that's um, that's a bit. That film's a bit messy, but really worth watching. But yeah,
Nice.
back to back to RoboCop.
Yeah.
Um, Question for you: do you know if you watch the theatrical or director's cut?
Oh, um,
There's not major
no.
differences, but
I
I
don't
think it's
even have
worth
my.
bringing up.
Yeah.
Well, you
No,
don't need
I'm not
to.
sure.
Um, Basically,
I'm not
the
sure.
the big difference is the level of violence.
Okay.
The theatrical cut was a little bit censored,
Right.
um, but you're thinking, how could a film like this be even more violent? So,
Yeah.
uh, particularly in the scene where Murphy is killed, there's a shot where his arm gets shot off,
Yeah.
or his hand gets shot off first, and there's a in the director's cut there's a moment where he holds up the bloody stump and kind of to his face and kind of screams at it.
Okay.
If
I
you
think I
didn't have,
watched that.
okay, so that's the
I think
director's
I
cut.
did. Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Okay.
but yeah, I don't know. This is a kind of interesting nerd thing for me. I always like
Yeah.
to know those choices
Yeah.
that
Well,
go into these
there's
kinds
also
of
that's
things.
like Blade Runner, isn't there? There's one cut where it's slightly less violent or something. The US cut versus the international cut or something like that.
Yeah, one of the
Something
7
like that.
cuts or
There's
what.
one where it's got more violence than the other.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But we can sort of slowly get into the film itself. But I've um, in terms of science fiction, I think that this where this film occupies, like where it exists, is not so much in the kind of robot sentience, consciousness kind of arena.
Hmm.
This is out and out dystopian fiction. That's the area of
Right.
sci-fi where we're in, I think, fully.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
and I wrote down three things about, three core things in RoboCop that feel very 2026: militarized
Okay.
policing,
Yeah.
corporate control of public services, media, and politics, and constant uh, news cycle.
Ah.
Uh,
Okay. Yes. Very interesting. Yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah, because it's sort of that's interesting because the news almost sort of pops up and tells you what to think at certain stages, doesn't it? It's sort of
I
like
mean, yeah, we'll talk about. Let's get into the film itself, and then we can talk about.
yeah,
I guess. I mean, it starts with the TVs, so I think we can start with that first.
yeah.
Um, so let's get into RoboCop then.
We've got to volunteer. The body is on the way.
Sheriff, all Detroit has a cancer. Cancer is crime.
In a robe.
As you know, we've entered into a contract with the city to run local law enforcement.
We were able to save the left arm.
What? I thought we agreed on total body prosthesis. Now lose the arm, okay?
We get the best of both worlds. Onboard computer-assisted memory
And a lifetime of on-the-street law enforcement programming.
Hey, Louis, it's RoboCop.
This guy is really good.
He's not a guy, he's a machine.
What are they gonna do, replace us?
Murphy, it's you.
Go get him, boy.
Thank you. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to an attorney. Anything you say may be used against you. You better back up, pal! Your move, creep.
The future of law enforcement. RoboCop.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Of course,
I
that was the-
absolutely love that line where he's like, "Your move, creep." I love that one so much.
Of course, that's the original theatrical trailer for RoboCop. As I said, came out in 1987, as directed by Paul Verhoeven, with a script by Edward Neumeier, starring Peter Weller, Ronnie Cox, Kurtwood Smith, Miguel Ferrer, and Nancy Allen. So I'm going to blindside you. I'm going to introduce a new segment that we're going to do.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to list some of the actors who've had semi-prominent to prominent roles in Star Trek from this movie. And I'm going to see if you can remember where they were from, or you don't have to give me character names, but let's see. I'll know if you know it, right?
Okay.
So we'll start with RoboCop himself, Peter Weller. Do you remember?
Okay. No, but that's because I know that I know him from somewhere, and I googled him and I didn't see any Star Trek come up.
In Star Trek, he is Admiral Marcus in Star Trek Into Darkness, the kind of secret villain who takes control of the USS Vengeance. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. No, I don't remember that. Just I can't picture it, but okay, because I've definitely seen him somewhere. I think. Yeah, no, I've forgotten where I've seen him from before, but it was something random. I didn't know it was Star Trek.
So not Star Trek then. Well, let's do Kurtwood Smith, who plays Clarence Boddicker.
Oh no, yeah. Where do I know him from? Star Trek. I can't
He has
imagine him in Star Trek.
two characters in Star Trek.
No, I can't remember him from Star Trek.
In Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country, he plays the Federation president. And
no ways.
in Deep Space Nine, he plays Odo's predecessor as security officer on Terok Nor, Thrax, who I've read online returns in Voyager. But obviously I haven't seen that yet.
Okay, I mean, that would make sense. That's probably where I recognize him from then.
But that's two roles where he's in thick makeup. So
right.
you can use that as an excuse. And this one, I think,
yeah.
the next one I think you ought to get is Ronnie Cox, who plays Dick. I guess the vice president of OCP.
From Star Trek. Oh,
You
no,
might kick
messing
yourself.
with me here.
You might kick yourself with this one.
Okay, yeah.
Captain Edward Jellicoe, who he takes command of the Enterprise when Captain Picard is sent on a secret mission to Cardassia, and he's taken prisoner.
Yes, yeah. Oh,
And
he's
he's the one who makes Counselor Troy wear a uniform after all those years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there you go.
Yeah. No, I can definitely see that one for sure. Damn it. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Well, now you're prepared. Next time we do a film, you gotta look up for some Star Trek faces.
Yeah, I was thinking that I knew these faces from somewhere, and if it's Star Trek, then that's definitely where it's from. Okay.
Now have a look and see. Have a look after we record and see if you.
I will definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. So back to RoboCop. Film opens with a night sky skyline of Detroit. Obviously, this film is set in the near future, so we're talking, I guess, mid '90s, kind of 2000s area.
Right. Yeah.
So we're not pushing that far ahead. But I immediately think Detroit is an interesting setting as a place that really by '87, the car manufacturing has left. Industry is decaying, the city is decaying. You have mass exodus into the suburbs, leaving like this kind of crime-addled urban center. And I think that obviously that's quite intentional, bringing in a city like that that's heavy in the cultural consciousness at the time. But the title comes up, lovely '80s graphic.
Yeah. It's sort of like the word art font.
Yeah. But we don't go into any action or anything proper. We go into a TV broadcast.
Yes, top news story. Pretoria.
Yes. Yeah. Obviously, in this reality, apartheid is taken to its extreme.
Yes, and I find that really interesting because you said this is '87.
Yeah, made in '87.
So, I didn't manage to do full research on this, but as far as I know, the South African nuclear program was still under wraps at that time. I think it was revealed probably in '89, 89, 90 sort of. But in '87, it would have been highly, highly suspected by like the Cold War powers, right? Like both US and Russia would have suspected this, and South Africa would have been denying it. I'm not sure when the Vela incident happened, which was a nuclear test, which South Africa denies to this day that they photographed from space, and then they confronted South Africa with. But I reckon it was around this time. So I think the choice to mention South African nuclear weapons in this film is extremely intentional.
Yes.
And I think it as you say, it implies that apartheid's still going on. And they said they mentioned a besieged city-state, right? So that means the country's fallen into civil war, which I think at the time was also very expected. Everyone thought that the place was going to go to hell. So yeah, I thought that was very subtle but very interesting to put all of that in.
Also, for some, just the from what I know, the this time in the '80s is it's a time where apartheid and anti-apartheid sentiment around the world was really at a kind of at its highest.
Absolutely.
So this is the era of the cultural boycott. And sports boycott, I guess. So this is
yes.
It's heavy in the public consciousness. So when you're making dystopian fiction, that's something that you can grasp at, because already in the '80s, it's something that you don't have to push too far.
No. And it's almost a warning to South Africa. It's like, fast forward 10 years, this is what the reality is going to be like. Pretoria is going to be besieged. It's going to be the last bastion of apartheid. There's going to have been this horrible civil war, nuclear threat, everything. So I thought that was a very subtle political statement to put that in.
Yeah.
And as I said, I'm not sure when they revealed the program, because they revealed it by telling the world, we've got this and we are voluntarily dismantling it. And that would have been around 89 or 90. So 87, I think the Angolan war was still going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that would have been right around the time when they were putting pressure on South Africa to admit that they've started developing weapons.
Yeah.
So interesting, very interesting opening.
Yeah. But from that, we go immediately into a kind of comical story. And it's it's very intentional, the expressions of the news anchors. They're smiling. They're comforting you, right?
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, oh, the president is in space, but there was a gravity mishap, and they're all floating, and it's a kind of,
yeah.
you know, we're going to laugh along with it. This is immediately after, like, you know, a major country is going into nuclear war any moment.
Yeah, yeah.
But from there, we go into Alex Murphy's first day at work in a new precinct, and we learn that Detroit is it's a hellscape. It's kind of a war zone, and cops are dropping like flies. And in the news broadcast, we get introduced our villain, Clarence Bartico, who's killed 31 cops. 31. It's crazy. But then there's a cop who's in the hospital, and they're all pulling for him to make it, and the captain comes in and pulls his nameplate from his locker and says, you know, any donations you can give to what's his face as usual. This is a day in the life. This is ordinary operation in dystopian Detroit.
Yeah, and you can see they all sort of resigned. They're like, we knew this was going to happen. You know, like, this is the news that we've been dreading.
Yeah. He's paired up with his new partner. And then we have our boardroom meeting. We're introduced to OCP. I've already forgotten what this stands for. Omni Consumer Products.
Oh, did they actually mention it at some stage? Because I missed that completely.
Consumer Products.
All right.
And I think it's time to bring in the kind of the economic situation in America at the time in '87. This is the era of Reaganomics. Ronald Reagan's vision of economics, which is marked by heavy privatization of public services, deregulation, and big-time corporate tax cuts. So the corporations are running wild, and the ideology at play is the free market will solve everything. And this is also the era of trickle-down economics, right? If we let the free market reign free, then you know, the benefits will run down the hill to the consumer, the ordinary person.
Yeah.
And this is obviously what's at play in this scene. We have a corporation that owns the police force and can give them orders and operates them and arms them, trying to find a new solution for the phrase here it uses, urban pacification, which is the exact kind of corporate sanitized speak.
Urban pacification,
yeah. And
police state, in other words.
Exactly. we're introduced to Ed 209, which is the police robot. One of the most charming special effects of the era.
Absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it looks like stop motion, right?
It is stop motion, composite onto live action, obviously.
Right. No, it's like in the original Terminator as well. You know, once he's lost all of his skin and he's just the robot. It was that sort of vibe as well. Yeah.
In my head, whenever I think about this film, and I don't specifically when I watched it this time, in my head it was way worse. You know, I was like, in my head I was always like, oh, Ed 209 is a bad special effect, and you kind of like, you kind of
right.
laugh it off, and it's charming and
Yeah.
everything. But this one, it looked really good.
It wasn't bad, actually. Yeah,
It looked
yeah.
really
Like
good.
you can tell it's stop motion, but it sort of gives it always sort of creeps me out. You know, it's that
There's
sort
a
of
little uncanniness about it.
Exactly. Yeah, it doesn't quite look natural. No, it was decent. I mean, it's not like you were constantly recognizing that it wasn't in the shot and that it was something else.
Yeah. And we have the demo of Ed 209. They ask one of the low ranked executives, point your gun at him, and we'll see. And you have 20 seconds to comply. One of the iconic quotes from the film, and he puts the gun down, and Ed 209 doesn't realize this, and eventually shoots him up in a really horrible fashion.
Shoots him up. My goodness,
shreds him.
Yeah.
But it's really
the American police would love that, wouldn't they?
Yeah. It's really how do I say it? There's a nice kind of expression of this world where he's running for his life, and everyone is just like throwing him back into the sights of Ed. Like this is a dog eat dog world. Like, I don't care about you.
And the CEO is just sitting there like,
not mourning a loss of life.
Not concerned with not concerned.
This is a faulty product it's going to set us back a few million.
Yeah.
And I wrote down, like, it's just so nice to see proper blood squibs.
Right. Yeah.
For those who don't know what a blood squib is, it's a small explosive charge blood pack that you can put under your costume that is remote triggered or set on a timer that explodes and gives the illusion of being shot. And it's a kind of ultimate this is like one of the hallmarks of 80s action, excessive blood squibs, people getting shot in the chest like 6 times, and they're throwing themselves around as the charges are going off. We've lost a little bit these days in modern filmmaking. There's a lot of digital blood. Before blood squibs, you'd have to the victim would have to fall, and then you cut, and then when you cut back, there's blood there, or they simply just don't have a bullet.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I've been watching a few old James Bond films recently, and you can often see that they like clutch their chest, and they've obviously got something in their hand that
and they can smear it,
squeeze. Yeah, exactly. And obviously that looks a lot more fake than something like that.
Yeah, but just for me and my kind of lizard brain part of me, I love to see proper blood squibs in an 80s film.
No, because I mean it's
the way it should be,
right? Yeah. No, and it definitely, you're like, whoa. That's why I'm pretty sure I've watched that scene before. I think I remember probably watching that unsupervised as a kid, and being like, oh, I'm not supposed to be watching this.
Yeah. And then I noticed something when they shut Ed 209 down. Did you notice this? It's the sound effect. I think it's the sound effect of the Millennium Falcon when it like fails to go into hyperspace. That kind of grinding, creaky sound.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Oh, no ways. Okay.
So when they power down Ed 209, I think they use that exact sound effect.
Oh, beautiful.
Or like I'm going nuts, but like that's
similar at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I will go back and check that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and the failure of this prompts I think his name is Bob to go up to the old man and kind of push for his RoboCop program to go through, which is approved. And then we're back on Murphy's.
Just by the way, I mean, have you ever watched the movie Chappie?
No, not yet.
It's sort of like it's the same guy who did District 9, right?
Yeah. And it's with Dion Ford in it.
Yeah. Exactly, with Dion Ford. Exactly. I've watched that movie before, and I realized it's pretty much the exact same idea as this movie as well. They've even got one guy who's built a robot for the police force that literally looks exactly like Ed 209. It's got the same legs, the same thing, everything, and then it goes haywire or something, and then they say, "Nah, we're gonna actually do these humanoid robots." So it's interesting to see how I don't know, the same idea is is repeated again later.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't realized that.
Yeah. The our next scene is Murphy on his first day, and he's called into a car chase, and it's all it's all good fun. A fun action scene. We're introduced to the gang of criminals who form the kind of main antagonists of the film, and they follow them into an old mill, and I like this, a kind of abandoned industrial. This is very Detroit. The car manufacturing has left. Ford Motors is no longer there, and backup is not available. And this is also that expression of kind of the police force is unable to do anything about it with its rampant crime, and we have some nice kind of hands up, all that kind of stuff. But Murphy is now surrounded, and there's no help. He is a goner.
No, completely.
So he is executed in horrible fashion.
And they play with him. Hey, geez.
Yeah. And he's rushed to hospital. His kind of dying thoughts are of his son watching TJ Laser. Can you do that, Dad? And we get this extended point of view sequence of different events. So his heart is stopped. And his body's now being reconstituted for some purpose. We don't know.
Yeah, you see, I hadn't realized, because you see, now I do realize I haven't watched the film in its entirety before, because I didn't realize that he actually dies. I thought it was sort of, he was close to death and the only way they could save him would be to make him a robot. But the idea is that he's actually completely dead, done, finished.
Yes.
And then they just sort of harvest him for parts, essentially. I always thought it was a way to try and save the person, but it's actually not. It's using the person as the commodity, because they need the brain as the primary, the processing unit, I suppose, for the thing to actually work.
Yeah, I mean, this is. I'm really glad you brought up the word commodity, because this is kind of the argument against capitalism. Is that capitalism treats the body as commodity? It's labor.
And it's also like, no, he knew the terms, he signed the contract when he joined the thing, and now he's dead, so he doesn't have any rights to it anymore. No, it's quite harsh.
And this is so like dystopian fiction obviously is usually pushing particularly capitalist ideology to its extremes, and this is one of that, with the body is owned and is a product and is a commodity. Like you say, it's been harvested for parts, essentially. And even in the first kind of wake up, when he is RoboCop, they still leave his arm on. And Bob's like, what are you doing? Take his arm off.
Why have you left his arm on? I didn't tell you to save the arm. Which immediately tells you, this is not about saving the man. It's about creating the machine and using
about a
the
product
man.
that we can sell.
Yeah.
And in this sequence, we're introduced to 3 prime directives: serve the public trust, protect the innocent, uphold the law. And the secret, mysterious, classified 4th directive.
Do they mention it already then?
It's like directive 4, like classified or something like that. And it's like no prizes for guessing what that is. Being owned by a company, right?
It's the smoking gun. I'm sure we will see it later.
Chekhov's 4th directive. And we're back at the police station, and this whole convoy of vans and cars are showing up. And I like the idea of RoboCop being transported by a giant like refrigerated truck pulling in. And they arrive at the station, and it's like, who are you people? Like, no, we're OCP. Like, get out of our way. You know, we run this place.
Yeah.
Like, who are you?
Yeah,
to
yeah.
talk
Like
to me?
he literally the you know, the station chief comes up and like, excuse me or whatever, and he's like,
Yeah.
he doesn't even say it to him. He's like, who is this guy? You know, he turns
Yeah,
to his
exactly.
assistant. He's like, who is this guy? Get him out of my face.
And yeah, I love that shot of a RoboCop walking behind the frosted glass, and you just hear
Yeah.
that kind of electrical hum that he has, and his footsteps. And
Yeah, no.
that station, we're always, whenever we're there, it's always chaos and people screaming and shouting, but like it's dead
And then
silent
suddenly
now.
it's
It's like hush falls on the place, and here he is, and we're properly introduced him on the gun range.
Yes.
Where he's just he's got a massive pistol, which is no problem for him, and he's just going to town on these targets, and everyone is looking over at Super Cop, and
and then that's obviously as well where we first see him do the little twirl, right?
yes, which his partner it recognizes as a signature, and it's the first. I don't know what's going on there. Some things flying around my neighbor's apartment. Anyway, it's the first hint that Murphy is somewhere in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because obviously we as the audience, I mean, I suppose we assume that it is Murphy because he's just died, and then we see it from his point of view. So we're pretty confident that it's him, but no one else really knows this yet. And up until that point, we're not sure if he's actually still there or not. You know, how much of him have they actually left over?
Yeah. And I just want to comment like on the design of RoboCop. It really good, really kind of timeless, I guess. I don't know about timeless, but it's aged incredibly well, and the suit looks good.
It does.
It moves well. Peter Weller, his bodily control, I guess, is very well controlled. And
and also good idea to sort of leave a little bit of his face visible. You know, you don't want to leave the eyes because then obviously it's him, but to leave a little bit, it's sort of like it sort of gives you the feeling of there is a person under there and he's being suppressed.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
but I don't know if you ever saw the 2014 remake of RoboCop.
No, I didn't even realize that there was one. I saw something about that. Yeah.
I mean, so I haven't seen it. I was aware of it when it came out, and I kind of had no interest in it.
No, I can imagine.
But if you look at the design of that RoboCop, if you look at the design of that RoboCop, it's that one is like so much. It's dated already. It's like kind of.
Oh, seriously?
No like a kind of iPhone RoboCop. Right
Right.
Let's see. Let's get a first time reaction on this.
First time. Oh no, cease, man.
Yeah, it's just shiny black kind of.
Yeah. No, sis.
I guess now is a good time to kind of. Now that we're talking about it, like, the RoboCop sequels and the remake, and I was reading up about RoboCop 2 and reading reviews and things like that, and I've settled on the fact that I actually do want to watch the film. Apparently, it is quite good. It's written by
the 2014 one. You mean?
No, the sequel, RoboCop 2.
Oh, okay, I see. Right.
Written by Frank Miller, who's like one of the most iconic comic book writers of all time. Directed by Irvin Kershner, who did Empire Strikes Back. So there's a little bit of prestige there.
Oh, no ways, right? Yeah.
But I think the fear is that the franchise gets Rambo-fied. Are you familiar with that phrase?
I'm not, but because I also haven't watched. I don't know which Rambo movies I've watched. I've definitely watched the first one, but after that, they're sort of a blur. But I can imagine sort of what it means. Yes.
Yeah. First Blood, the first ever Rambo film, is about a man who went to the Vietnam War and is suffering from PTSD and gets entangled with the cops in a small town, and can't deal with it and brings the war home and causes mayhem, and it's a tonally kind of tragic. It's this kind of tragic hero, Rambo, and all the Rambo sequels are, he's hired by the government to gun down endless hordes of Vietnamese people, right? So it's kind of so it's kind of the term ramification is it's when something sets out to critique a certain thing or a certain and then ends up becoming
it just
that
becomes
thing.
that
Right. So RoboCop 2 is the worry is that it is kind of like 80s action slop with kind of nothing to say about it.
Right. It's sort of, I suppose it's almost what you might have expected from this film.
Yes, yeah, exactly. When you see a film called RoboCop,
you think it's just going to be some robot guy killing people.
Yes.
You don't realize it's going to be deeper than that. Yeah.
Yes. And from this point, RoboCop is now let out alone for first day 2.0.
I mean, just straight off the bat. I mean, they don't even give him like a human supervisor or anything. It's just like, go for it,
There's
man.
no one in the car with him. And the first, he stops a bunch of
But I mean, I suppose that's the same philosophy as not giving Ed 209 an abort switch.
Yes.
It's like, no, this thing's going to do our job, and you just got to trust it.
Yeah. And the first crime that he encounters is a kind of convenience store robbery. This is a kind of classic action movie setup. But I mean, it's a cool scene. It is cool to see this cyborg kicking ass, right? It does tickle that part of the brain. But I love that he takes out the guy and walks out. There's no arrest. There's no witness report. It's just committing assault and leaving.
Perfect police officer.
Yeah. Thank you for your cooperation. Good night.
Yeah.
And then the next one is he stops an attempted rape. And there's an awesome shot where he's backlit by the car headlights, and there's shadows cast on the wall in front. Where the two criminals are, and again, like the kind of cyborg, kind of cool, kicking ass, taking names, shooting through the skirt into the guy's junk. It's just it's just all time stuff. And you also have that immortal line, "Your move, creep."
Absolutely.
Which is that's one of that's one of the lines that that I use like.
Oh, really?
Sometimes in life that kind of ended my lexicon.
No, I reckon I might start using it as well. I really enjoyed it. I think I had to pause and laugh.
Yeah, but we get to my actual favorite moment of the film is a woman coming. Thank you. You saved me. And, Madam, you have suffered an emotional shock. I will notify a rape crisis center, and then leaves. I mean, it's so
brilliant.
It is so dark.
Yeah.
When you think about what
robotic,
that moment is, but it is so funny still. It is,
I know
the delivery, the context, and everything. One of my favorite moments. And
it's just like, this is not included in my directives. Time for someone else to take over.
And the final crime is the hostage of the mayor's been taken hostage by a political rival, and RoboCop stops it. He just walks straight upstairs and grabs the guy and throws him out the window. And there's that when he arrives, the press is all over him, which is kind of nice. That's kind of like, what's new and shiny right in front of me. We don't care. That's kind of how the news cycle moves. And there's that wonderful shot where the criminal's falling, and there's a news camera that's tilting, tracking his body, going splat on the floor.
Yeah. No,
isn't that such a perfect comment for?
It's just like, got to get the action,
Yeah, but this perfect comment for the kind of desensitization
Yeah.
of viewers, and just the kind of rotten stuff. I mean, and that's what this movie
Yeah.
is. This is extreme violence, and it's kind of rubbing our nose in it in a way, I guess, by showing like this is what what is, I suppose.
Yeah.
And then we have this
No, it's
kind
sort of that sort of thing always reminds me. I'm not sure if you've read 1984
no, I
by
haven't
George
actually.
Orwell. So
Bit
there's
shocking,
a
that.
very, very famous. Yeah, it is actually. There's a very famous scene in that book, which I love, where he's walking along, and there's been some sort of political upheaval, and the cops have come and killed a whole lot of people or whatever. And he's walking along the street, and there's someone's hand just lying in the street, and he's just walking along, and he kicks it out the way into the gutter with his foot and carries on walking. And that's
Wow.
supposed to sort of be like, what kind of real person would actually see a hand lying on the street and just be like, get this out the way.
This is
Kick it
inconvenience.
into the gutter. Exactly. So that's always the sort of iconic scene that I come back to with desensitization to that sort of thing. And it's a similar thing, that tracking with the camera, just like, ooh, perfect action shots. I'm going to be on the front pages with this.
Yeah, and it's no consideration of the fact that this is a human being who's died, or there are going to be families watching this.
Yeah.
But I think that's a nice lead into kind of conversation about the way the media is portrayed in this film. We get some, catching up with RoboCop through the news bulletins, and the way this kind of reflects the modern media landscape for us is really it's almost like a 1-to-1 kind of mapping here. So everything it's constant. Updates and things. We have a space lasers destroyed a town and a bunch of presidents are dead. Moving on to the next thing. Moving on to the next thing.
And they never really have like a slow and deliberate cut to the news segment.
Yes.
It's just suddenly from the main action to quickly news segment and then carry on. There's no sort of lead into it and lead out. It forces its way in, but without announcing itself.
But like you mentioned that you must have seen this film while like channel surfing. I think that's exactly kind of what they're going for here. They're actually pushing for this feeling of channel surfing. Like, I'm gonna flick around the channels and watch some news. There's this action movie on. Okay, I'll watch that for 15 minutes. Let me go watch some news again. And now we're gonna have a commercial where we're selling war toys to kids and families.
And there's people being killed in all of this, in the movie, in the news, in the
and the news anchor's tone is always cheery. Like there's no there's no morality. Everything is kind of empty and things like, it's all just, everything is reduced to spectacle for consumption, right? And I was thinking about like the way that this is casting no judgment on myself or anyone else, but when if we're on reels and I'll stop and be like, oh my god, can you believe what this Trump guy is doing? And then and then I scroll to the next thing and it's like, which cat reminds you of your girlfriend? and then you scroll the next thing and now it's like showing like the horrors of war crimes in Gaza and things like that. It's all reduced to the same thing. Right.
It's just all on the same platform, and you just scroll from one to the next.
And this reminds me. I'm bringing in now one of the more famous ideas and quotes in, I guess, media studies in general, from Marshall McLuhan, and it's the argument that the medium is the message. So it's the medium through which something is consumed or taken in is more important than the message itself.
Okay.
So, taking the example of Instagram Reels, right?
Yeah.
Everything is reduced to the same level, right?
Right. Yeah.
So I'm not consuming a news piece about a horrible action by a politician. I'm watching a reel, right?
Right.
It's something to occupy me for 10 seconds. before moving on to the next thing.
Yeah, right. It's
And-
just procrastination. It's not actual learning information about the world or something.
Yeah, I mean, we have here, it's a, the apartheid government flick over to, feel good story, flick over to a commercial, flick over to an action movie about a robot cop.
Yeah. And you're right, because I mean, they mentioned a few things. I mean, something I wrote down here as well is there was like some war in Mexico as well,
Yes.
and there's talk about nukes and everything. They're obviously sort of predicting as well that things have gone to hell, and that there is kind of maybe not a full-scale world war, but the world is in chaos at the moment, and no one's really caring about it. It's just like, oh yeah, South Africa, there's nuclear weapons, and
Yeah.
the US has invaded Mexico, and blah blah blah. No one's really too concerned about it.
Even the way you say
it's
blah
not
blah
very
blah
obvious.
is the blah 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 is kind of part of that thing of like, oh, it's all the stuff
Yeah.
going on, and
Yeah.
it only exists on my phone,
Yes. Yeah.
But all of this is part of that anti-capitalist kind of idea of like, let's push capitalism to its extremes.
Yeah.
And what you're going to get is global destabilization. And
Right.
I mean, we're seeing it right now before our eyes.
We are. We're seeing exactly that. Yeah.
The top, whatever it is, 20 richest people in the world have more wealth than the 4 billion poorest.
Yeah. And surprise, surprise, the world is in chaos. Yeah.
It's falling apart. Yes.
Yeah. No, there were definitely a few sort of. You can see that these were predictions in 1987.
Yeah.
In 18, Jesus. And a few of them have sort of come true. It's not like the hoverboard in Back to the Future where we don't. That's clearly not the future. There are some things here where you're like, oh damn, they got that right.
I mean, even if you had watched this when it came out in 1987, none of it would have felt too extreme a prediction.
No. Yeah.
Everything would have felt like, oh, this is incredibly plausible.
Yeah.
And attainable within
just
10 years.
Give it a couple decades and we might be here.
Yeah. And also that the sitcom that they're always watching. I can't remember the name. There is a name for it, but starring this character Bixby, and it's one catchphrase. I'd buy that for $1. And this guy is like completely like misogynistic and objectifying women who are just like in bikinis, and he's like, oh, can I have both of you? Things like that.
Yeah, right.
It's his comments of like the kind of hollowness of TV and
right. Yeah.
The misogyny, and how it's kind of desensitizes and normalizes everything that it's showing. And what I love is that it is one catchphrase, and every time someone's watching it, they burst out laughing. It's just like this forced laughter.
Absolutely,
like,
it kills them. Yeah.
This is kind of regurgitated, recycled, nothing original, nothing new.
It's now you laugh. Yeah. Go.
Yeah. I mean, we're saying this all out loud. I'm like, this film was made in the 80s. It is so relevant.
Yeah. No, absolutely it is.
Yeah. But, back to the film. From there, we're catching up with some of the corporate characters, but at the police station, RoboCop is in his docking station, I guess you would call it, and he's having dreams. And this is the first, this is the subconscious of Murphy trying to break free. And I think there's a nice metaphor, link with that trying to break free and the kind of media, I guess, fog over the mind. And this is kind of his subconscious trying to break free out of that corporate control over him, and getting that individualism back. Which applies both to the kind of media and the capitalist side of things. and he's having, I suppose it's nightmares about when he was shot. Yes.
Yeah.
And he goes out and he goes investigating and finds Emil is his name at the gas station. And
Right. Yes. Yeah.
yeah, and this is the first time that RoboCop is confronted with his own humanity, where Emil says, "Oh, I know you. You know, we killed you," which is such a, I guess, such a nightmarish, jarring thing to hear about yourself.
But I also I love how he recognized this guy instantly, but his colleagues at the police station are like, "Oh, don't know
No,
who
but
this is."
it was a phrase that he used that gave it
is
away.
Okay. Okay.
What was it?
Okay, that
dead or
makes more
alive, you're
sense.
coming with me.
Okay.
Which he says before.
Okay. Okay. I missed that because I was like, how does this guy know who this is?
Yeah. We have this, small kind of skirmish leading to a spectacular
Beautiful
80s explosion fireball.
Yeah.
And am I like, I don't know how they did this, but there was a stuntman in the fireball, right? I'm not. Did you also like?
It
that
must
was
have been, yeah. It must have been.
crazy.
I didn't even think
spectacle.
about that. Yeah, because it was. You see, I didn't even think about it being a stunt. I was just like, "Whoa, damn."
Yeah. The RoboCop was in there, and you could see him.
Yeah,
there.
no, you're
Like,
right.
did they come?
They must have
They
been.
couldn't
Yeah.
have. Yeah, but really,
Yeah, must have been.
yeah. And he goes back to the station, and he's he drives to the suburbs where his family is, and I was thinking while watching this, I'm glad they didn't do the typical scene where the family is there and they see him and like, oh, Dad, it's you, or he doesn't remember.
Yeah, because I was
love
sort of
the kind
expecting that. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the going through the home and picking out those memories that the kind of the space holds for him.
Yeah.
And going back to the fact that he is dead, he was pronounced dead, so the family has left and moved on.
Has moved on, and
There's nothing left for him here.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I'm interested. Like, but you haven't watched any of the sequels.
I have not, but I am interested in 2 for sure.
Yeah, because I'm assuming that at some stage he would go and try and find these people. His son at least, or something. Especially with the whole gun twirling thing. I thought that's sort of like, he still wants to somehow go and reconnect with them.
I mean, I suppose that's a question that we can ask of the sequel. It's like, is this a new person? Is it Murphy? Is it RoboCop?
Yeah.
Is it just a new thing?
Yeah.
I suppose we'll have to check it out then. But we're
absolutely.
We find out that behind Boddicker calling the shots is Dick at the company. So again, the company is controlling everything, even crime. It's funding crime.
Yeah, they're doing the
so
police
that there's a demand
and
for
the
police,
crime,
and and Boddicker takes out Bob for creating the RoboCop program, I suppose.
Yeah, also, I mean, I think this was a bit earlier in the movie, but the thing that I found most unbelievable about the entire film was the chat at the urinal. I mean, come on. When does that happen in real life? The 2 guys in the urinal chatting to each other about something, and then like Dick comes out of the stall or whatever. But I was like, in which real life situation do you chat to your business partner at the urinal? Like, come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, like you need the scene where he and Dick are, going toe to toe.
No, sure.
I mean, you need that. You need that scene, and I'm fine with how they got there.
No. I was just like, what is this? What you're not supposed to talk to people at the urinal? Come on, man. Obey the rules. Respect the culture.
Yeah. Next we have the kind of the big shootout in the drug warehouse, which again is that kind of robot kicking ass. We're tackling that part where we want to see that. And he gets Vodka. He arrests him, and I was thinking that it's nice to see that he actually is still the man inside, because he has him. He can arrest him, but no, he has to assault him first. Take away fundamental human rights, right? So this is a real American cop on the scene, and it's nice to see that he still has that within him.
Yeah, the directives are needed. They have to kick in, because otherwise,
uphold the law. Like, don't kill people.
It's like, oh right, yeah. Just because I have a gun.
The basics. Which leads to a confession from Boddicker that actually Dick Jones. Is it Dick Jones?
I think so. It sounds right. It's Dick something.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, calling the shot. So he goes to OCP to arrest him, and he's been expected, and this is the reveal of the fourth directive, which is that he can't do anything against OCP employees, which is obviously this is the fundamental argument against privatization of public services. You're not doing it for the service, you're doing it for the profit and your own personal gain.
No, it also makes me think, with all the AI discussion and stuff these days, it's like, oh, we've got to put in these safeguards to prevent AI rising up and taking over and acting against us and stuff. And it definitely brings into question the moral implication of that. Like, can you put in a directive to some sort of cybernetic organism or AI or something, which prevents it from doing a certain thing, So it's like the laws of robotics again for Asimov. It's like, okay, so you say, oh, you can't harm a human, but what if there comes a situation where you have to act against that law, and then you run into complications? If you have an absolute law that you can never ever disobey, then what are you doing here? What are you trying to control, and why are you even then creating this thing in the first place? It's interesting, because it's like, okay, it would almost make sense if you make something. It's like, okay, don't turn on your creators. You give it that rule, But here we see, okay, but sometimes it would have to. So how do we handle this? How do we give an artificial life form the morals that it needs to make that sort of decision?
I don't have anything to kind of add on to that, but it's a.
I don't think there is an answer.
It's an open-ended question. That I think this film raises quite nicely. I mean, it shuts down his body. The quandary, and also and of course, from there, Ed 209 is called in to take him out, and as he's doing so, there's a wonderful shot where RoboCop has damage on his helmet, and he comes in, and you just see his eye. And there's a little hint of terror in there.
Right.
And he's kind of running away and whatever. And, I love this one special effect shot where Ed is shooting missiles, right? Which you think like a police robot with missiles, right? Going back to kind of hyper militarization of police, which we see now as well. It's just insane.
Because I mean, that also brings into question. Reminds me something. Like at the beginning of the film, he was also talking about Ed 209 becoming a military thing. It's like, oh,
yes,
and it's like, okay, but that's not supposed to be the same thing. Why have you designed it for both of these things? It's not like you have soldiers policing the streets. So why are you designing one robot for both of these? So as you say, it's like, it shouldn't need missiles.
I mean, and the one it's a question I'm supposed to be asking as a viewer of this film, but looking at Ed 209 for the first time, it's like, how is it supposed to arrest someone? How is it supposed to put handcuffs on and take someone in the back of a squad car?
Yeah. Yeah.
And take,
No.
so that it's only serving one function, and it's murder and death.
Yeah, that's why when the guy the guy didn't put down the gun, the only option is to just massacre him.
Yeah. Yeah. But again, there's that shot where it's shooting missiles, and you can see, like, if you just get that one split-second shot of the missile going, you can see that it's on a wire, and it's just so.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
beautiful.
just a charming.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, how do I say it? I'd rather watch. If I had to watch a bad special effect, I'd rather it be practical. We'll put it that way. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can deal with spotting a string here and there, rather than, I mean, I think a lot of the modern CGI is just absolutely horrible. You know, you can, there's no ways I'm ever going to believe that it's real. You know, even like early 2000s CGI sort of was better somehow. In many situations. Whereas these days it's just plastic. It looks like a video game.
Yeah, and I really think it's because back then CGI was still quite expensive and less accessible. So your intentionality when using it had to be like much clearer.
Right.
So going
and it's
in,
sort of more restrained as well. It's like you can only use it when you really need to.
Yeah, and I think generally pre-digital cinema, I think craftspeople, directors, and cinematographers just had higher standards. So they would, so when coming in for a CGI shot, they would also think about composition and lighting and all of these things.
Yes.
If you go,
whereas these days it's just like, oh yeah, they've made the CGI thing cool.
Yeah, I mean, even in the Marvel way of making movies, all the action scenes are done before the directors get there.
Oh, are you serious?
That's actually true, and the animators are doing it all like months in advance and stuff. So there's not actually like an artistic vision behind everything
right?
Which it's not the quality of the technology. It's not the quality of the technology. It's the quality of the artist, right?
Yeah. And just the process of making a film. That's not how you're supposed to make a film.
Yeah.
It's the wrong way around. That's why you have a director.
Yeah, exactly. if you watch some behind the scenes of the Avatar sequels, you'll see that James Cameron is sitting there and he's like thinking in classical terms of like, okay, we're gonna have a shot here, and we're gonna cut to that side in a traditional manner, and there's going to be a traditional key light on the actor, and then a fill light, and then a backlight, right? So the lighting in a digital, imagined environment is still using the same
he's still
modes
there
as it has been for decades,
film, even though it's not actually in front of him. Yeah.
So nice to have a conversation about CGI in a film that has no CGI in it. Lovely tangent. I mean, but back to Ed 209, we have the ultimate. Why did they decide him to walk on staircases?
I mean, wasn't it? I think it reminded me as well of the episode, Doctor Who episode Dalek, where the Dalek gets to the stairs and it's like, oh, the mighty Dalek defeated by a staircase or whatever. Because he gets there and you're like, oh yeah, he can't do that, can he?
But doesn't that Dalek have like jetpacks or something?
Yeah. He then goes and levitates or something. But before that, it reminded me of it because then he also slips down the stairs and then he literally has a tantrum.
Yeah,
Ed 209. He's so like kicking his feet, just like
yeah. But it's the question is this an oversight on the screenwriter or an oversight on the corporation making Ed? And I kind of I like to be on the side of thinking that it's the corporation, because that feels
I reckon
it feels modern. Like, here's a flashy new product and we've forgotten one key thing about it that makes it unusable.
Yeah. We were so focused on giving it missiles and guns that we forgot to make it work in the real world.
Yeah. The RoboCop is now ambushed by the police because obviously they're under control of the corporation. They have orders, right? But he's he's carved up, but manages to make his escape, and we're kind of in a recovery mode, and now the police are on strike, so crime is rampant, and
rampant. I mean, it's like the Purge. They're just like, cool, no police.
Well, I love the moment where Emil is in the street and everyone's looting, so they're breaking shop windows and stealing stuff, and he breaks the shop window just so he can turn the volume up on that crappy sitcom.
Yeah. And then cans himself laughing.
Yeah.
No, I also loved it where the other guy, I don't know his name, goes and gets the car that he wanted or whatever. And then
the 6,000 sucks.
Yeah. And then the leader comes and he's like, no, and just blows it up just for chaos.
Yeah. But Bodica is given instructions to go kill RoboCop. So we're building up into the final action set piece of the film. But before that, you have the wonderful scene of where RoboCop takes off his helmet, and they have this really, like, it really makes me uncomfortable looking at it. The kind of half head.
Because you realize that it's sort of like a Frankenstein sort of thing that they've really sort of just used him and stitched him together and stuff.
It's a fantastic special effect, by the way. Completely seamless. Even if you know exactly how it's done. I mean, it's pretty obvious, right? But it's just it looks brilliant. And we have his targeting system is off and it's recalibrated. Some nice bonding, I suppose, with the partner. But now, here come the bad guys to the mill, and they've come with their assault cannons, I suppose you would call them, firing explosive charges.
The one line that the guy says, he's like, "I like it."
Yeah. And I suppose you would, right? That it does. It does look kind of insane and fun. So RoboCop is taking them down slowly but surely, and there's a car chase, and this is the satire coming to the fore here, where Emil is he drives into a tank of toxic waste.
Yeah,
and it's almost as if that's like, oh, you're enjoying this action movie that's extremely violent and horrifying. You like this, right? Well, here, have some more. And it's just it's the worst.
It's like, you thought you'd seen the worst.
This is just it's nightmare fuel.
Have you ever watched The Goonies?
I have not. No, the blind spots. No,
because he kind of looked like there's like some weird monster sort of thing from The Goonies, and he gave me those vibes where when he was all melty and stuff, he looked like that crazy monster thing from The Goonies.
But he goes up to his friend and he says, "Help me!" And desperation, the guy's just screaming in terror, like, "Get the hell away from me!"
Yeah, he's just like, ugh.
And then obviously, Bodica puts him out of his misery and drives into him, which is another just disgusting moment of violence. And like I said, it's just like
it was.
You want this extreme violence.
It's a difficult movie to eat snacks while watching. I had like a packet of chips and I kept being like, "Oh Jesus, okay."
Well, my snacks are finished in 15 minutes, of course.
True.
Yeah. He crashes into a quarry, and we have the kind of final confrontation. RoboCop is taken out by steel beams, but the partner takes out I think his name's Leon, in that kind of control of the crane.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And we have this melee between Clarence and RoboCop, where RoboCop eventually takes his I guess his USB port, with USB stick, and stabs him in the neck. Just another horrifyingly
USB
violent.
port.
Yeah. And
Death by USB. I can imagine that happening.
And then they recover their safe and sound, and RoboCop now comes to the boardroom to arrest Dick. And you have the kind of neat, kind of cute sort of Dick, you're fired, and then RoboCop, thank you, and then kill.
Iconic, isn't it? I mean, it's sort of like, as soon as it happened, I was like, yeah, of course that was going to happen. Sort of like, you're fired.
Yeah.
That's also sort of quite sort of corporate themed. Sort of like, right, you're fired, terminated.
You're fired. Your only value of your labor is now gone. You have no value, so you're effectively dead to us.
No, exactly.
If I had a criticism of this film, like I'm really kind of stretching here, it would be like, it's a little naive that the actual boss of the company would be so cooperative, I guess, with RoboCop. Because surely he would be watching the news and seeing the results and the polling, I guess, of RoboCop, and think, oh, here's a good product.
But I mean,
for us.
they always sort of spoke about him almost as if like he was sort of like the original visionary, and like his vision has almost been corrupted a bit. So like he was the guy who sort of started he's the genius or whatever, and he started the company, and it's sort of got away from him and become this corporate mess. So I think that's sort of what they might have been going for, is like he's from before it became this whole massive commercial entity or something. But maybe a little bit naive.
We never actually spoke about the vision of Delta City, which is a remodeled Detroit that the company would build.
Yes.
Which is obviously this, again, an expression of Reaganomics, which is just like the corporation owns, runs, controls the city on every level.
And like the previous city's gone to shit, so like we just abandon it and make a new one that's all shiny, and we can put on the brochures and all of that.
Just the highest form of gentrification. But also in the final moment, I don't know if you noticed there's a great moment where the one colleague is watching RoboCop take out Dick, and he's kind of like cheering on, like, yes, get him. He's just enjoying the kind of disgusting spectacle of it all.
Oh right, no, I didn't notice that.
Just another kind of hint. He gives RoboCop a thumbs up.
Right. Yeah, it's sort of like watching the Gladiator games or something.
Exactly.
Finally, like now getting live action violence.
Yeah, exactly. What a boardroom!
Like, last week they shot the guy up, and now there's another guy.
Exactly. Yeah. And nice shooting, son. What's your name? Murphy. So it's kind of self-actualization is complete, I suppose. But I am left wondering, what this version of Murphy RoboCop hybrid thing is.
Absolutely.
So
because it made me start thinking like, okay, so they erased his memories, and that erased his personality, right? And now he regains his memories, and so now he regains his personality, is sort of the implication. So what are we implying, that memories are our sense of self? Is it just the fact that we have memories? I mean, it made me think of Blade Runner again. It's like, so our sense of self is entirely dependent on the fact that we have memories. And where is the self really? So like, can you transfer that individual personality into a machine? And is it only dependent on your experiences? Is it not dependent on just... Because I sort of assume they put his brain into this robot, right?
Yeah,
Sort of
there
his
is
brain and his face.
there was a line from Bob, who's the head of the RoboCop program, of like that RoboCop has a lifetime of police experience.
Right, yeah.
So almost that, like, the skills and
Okay. Yeah.
everything that Murphy had learned is gonna add to RoboCop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose it's all territory to be mined, I suppose.
Exactly. And
You would
I mean,
hope
it's
you would
quite
hope that if they did it, well, they did do a sequel, but
Yeah.
imagining, if this film only exists, like, what would you do with a sequel? I would really go in depth into the stuff that you were just talking about. Like, what is this new
Exactly. Is this
thing?
actually Murphy? And if he, I'm interested if he runs into his son. Do they
Yes.
get along? Do they?
Yeah.
Is his son like, oh, this is my dad, or is it not?
Yeah.
Because I thought it was quite just by chance. I thought it was a good movie to do. The last one we did was AI,
Yes.
which was all about, like, can a machine become a human? Pretty
Yeah.
much. Can it elevate itself and become a human? And I think this movie is dealing a lot with, can you reduce a human to an algorithm, to programming, to a machine? Can you
great point.
encapsulate everything that is a human being and put it into a machine, and it's still the same thing?
Yeah. And I suppose, talking about the capitalist side of things, like, we're taking the parts of the human being that are of value to this product and scraping away everything else.
Yeah.
Which is, again, the argument that capitalism does is we're only reduced to the things that are of worth. It's it's our labor.
Yeah. No, it's like, I mean, I think they still have it somewhere. They harvested Albert Einstein's brain against his wishes. Once he died, his family and he didn't want his brain to be harvested, but they did it anyway. They said, no, this is of value to science. And they've gone and studied his brain and everything, because they're like, oh, there must be something different about his brain that's made him the genius who he is. And of course, they've found nothing, right? His brain is as ordinary as any other brain. So it makes you think, like, okay, where is all of this contained? You can't just take a brain and be like, oh, this is the brain of a genius, and this is Murphy's brain, so this is Murphy. It's everything that he is in this brain. So yeah, lots of interesting questions.
Yeah, but again, the fear is that they Rambofy it and leave all that by the wayside. But I like thinking about it. I'm in this position of this is a new being altogether. This isn't RoboCop. This isn't Murphy. This is kind of some
I tend to
hybrid
agree.
of that.
Yeah. It's definitely got bits of Murphy in him, but it's not just Murphy who isn't dead anymore. Murphy died.
Yeah, but even when he's unveiled, his helmet is off, he's still very cold.
No, it's not the Murphy that we saw at the beginning.
Yeah.
That's why I reckon it would be quite painful for his son and for him for them to meet up again. I think it would be quite an interesting thing to explore.
Yeah, I would have to, if I had to put money on it, I would say that scene would be in RoboCop 2. Come on.
I mean, I would assume so.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, surely
as a writer, why wouldn't you want to do that? Think about it that way.
I was expecting them to do it at some point in this film, and I thought it was probably quite a good idea that they didn't get to it.
Yeah, they zagged. When I didn't expect, I quite liked that.
Yeah, no, completely.
Yeah,
but yeah, I would assume, because there's also multiple sequels. I think there's a few. It's not just one.
They went up to 3 off the top of my head, and then obviously you have a remake.
Yeah.
In that remake, by the way, RoboCop is played by Ed Baldwin from For All Mankind.
Yeah. He sort of suits it. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
I can see it.
Yeah. When he's not covered in old man makeup the last 3 seasons.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, any final thoughts on the film?
No, I think I've probably covered everything that I wanted to say. I mean, I thought it was definitely not what I was expecting, and yeah, I definitely haven't watched it before in its entirety. There were the two scenes that I mentioned: the board scene at the beginning, and then the scene where he catches up to them in the factory and shoots them all up. I think I've definitely seen those before. But other than that, it wasn't quite the story that I thought it was going to be. It was different, and it was grittier. It was more, as you say, you don't really expect, just from the name, I thought it was going to be quite sort of, I don't know, basic and surface level. I thought I was going to enjoy it. I mean, sounded cool, but I didn't realize it was quite as gritty as it was.
Yeah.
With deep themes like it has.
Yeah. I mean, just for me, this is like all the stuff we've spoken about is stuff that's the stuff that's bringing me back to it on rewatches. It's not the action and the violence, which is at first what I latched onto and loved as a teenager. But
of course,
it's a film of real intelligence and depth, and again, like I said, it's a out and out satire of consumerist culture and Reaganomics and our obsession with violence in media, to the point where it gives us something so extreme that we're like, oh my god, why did I ever want to watch this in the first place?
Yeah. No, and I mean, we've touched on it before as well. I mean, that's perfect sci-fi territory, isn't it? Where it's sort of an extremely deep, complex film which is disguised by shiny robots and big explosions and action scenes and stuff. Because that's what most people would see just on the surface level. But if you start to look at it a little bit deeper, it's got a whole lot of stuff going on there.
Yeah, I mean, the action is that's why you're buying the ticket at the cinema.
Exactly, yeah. And that's what you see in the trailer, and it's what you remember. But then on rewatches, as you say, you start to pick up on more and more stuff, and you start to really think about things.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that was RoboCop. For me, one of the masterpieces of dystopian science fiction, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you now that it's shocking I haven't seen it before. It's been on my list for a while. I mean, it's been there, and I think I knew that it deserved a bit of attention. It was always like a Friday night, and I'm like, I just want to watch a movie. I could watch RoboCop. Nah, I'm not in the right frame of mind for it. I need to sort of sit down and give it the attention that it deserves.
Yeah. And a great way for Paul Verhoeven to kickstart his Hollywood run. And I'm sure eventually we'll take off the rest of his sci-fi films. For me, Total Recall is somehow better than this. I mean, that's an exciting one.
I mean, that also, I haven't watched that in at least a decade, probably two. Yeah. And also Starship Troopers needs a rewatch at some stage. I definitely haven't watched that in quite a while.
Just to brag, Total Recall and Starship Troopers both seen in the cinema by me. So
I'm
spoiled over here.
Shut up, man! Please, man, please.
Yeah,
that's not fair, man.
Yeah, so I guess that's it for RoboCop, and thanks as always for listening. And next week we have a special bit of programming scheduled. We're going to be talking about Alien Romulus, the most recent theatrical Alien film. But we'll be introducing our first guest to the podcast, an old friend of mine, one of my best friends, who our friendship we pretty much owe to Alien, the original film.
Okay.
So it's a special thing for us, and I know that we differ on the film, so that's going to be an exciting discussion. But he will be, going forward, he's going to be our resident Alien correspondent. So any Alien chat, we're going to have my friend Matthew on.
Perfect. Sounds good.
We'll add an interesting dynamic, I hope, to the pod.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so we'll catch you all
then.
There's
endless things to talk about with Alien as well. So can definitely make
Oh
that
man,
a
this.
recurring
I mean,
thing.
so like, not to give anything away, but I saw Romulus when it came out, and you haven't. And this was your initiative to watch this film. We'll just say this is not a film that I ever thought I would have to rewatch. Let's say, or want to rewatch.
Right.
So we'll leave it at that. But yeah,
Right.
thanks again for listening. And yeah, we'll be back next Monday with Alien Romulus. So yeah, live long and prosper.